When the teaser for Watch Dogs, or Watch_Dogs as the title have you believe it's pronounced, was released onto the gaming world, it truly was our first glimpse of what the next generation could behold. Rumours were abound. Was it running on a PS4 or an Xbox 720? Could they honestly be this impressive? And the answer was no, it was a load of old bollocks. It was a tech demo. The mission in the demo isn't even in the final game, and Watch_Dogs was also being released on current gen systems. So what does the final game have to offer us, I hear you ask? Well, in Watch_Dogs, you are cast in the soggy trench coat of Aidan Pierce, a man out for vengeance over the simple misunderstanding of the death of his niece. So armed with his trusty iPhone and a couple of guns for good measure, Aidan proves you can be a digital god in your own domain. It's a bit like the movie Hackers, just missing the constant Wipeout product placements for Sony and no 1990s Angelina Jolie to fap to. On its surface, Watch Dogs looks like a normal sandbox game, but it's anything but. Of course you can try and play the game like a stereotypical sandbox game, guns a-blazing, but don't come crying to me when you have your arse handed to you. You need to take advantage of your digital surroundings, use them to lure and trap your enemies. This use of lateral thinking of rather than shoot first, shoot second, and if anybody is left breathing, teabag them and then run them over with your car, does make Watch Dogs feel unique. Especially in a genre almost as populated as FPS is. And if you don't want to be super serial all the time, you could take advantage of the digital trip missions, where you could leap around the city on growing flowers, run over flaming head hellspawn a la Carmageddon, stealth your way around the city hiding from killer cyborgs, or even just fudge up Chicago in an enormous spider tank. These are all optional, and most other companies might even sell them as later DLC, but they certainly inject a huge amount of variety into the game. Speaking of the city, the world of Chicago is absolutely gorgeous to look at, and it really comes into its own in the rain. It's not quite as impressive as that 2012 trailer, but it's really great just to take time out and have a little walk around to soak in the atmosphere. It's also a perfect choice for a city. In a genre where every other blooming game is set in New York, LA or London, it's surprising Chicago hasn't really been touched since Driver on the PS1. But it's a lovely city to walk around, with its oldie buildings, overhead railway and pretentious monoliths, but, unlike next-gen sandbox games like infamous Second Son, feels like a believable world. It also isn't littered in bloody coffee shops every other pixel either. It's not really spoken of much, but my favourite mode of Watch Dogs is the multiplayer component. There's been other games where you can jump in and out of other players' single-player campaigns before, but never this seamlessly. It's also quite creepy that somebody can suddenly appear in your world without any real notification whatsoever. I particularly enjoy the tailing missions, where you simply have to keep within eyesight of another player long enough for them not to figure out who the tailer is. Keeping incognito and trying to act like an NPC to avoid suspicion is quite entertaining. Of course you come across some idiots in the game like this bellend here, who has a genius idea of hiding, despite the fact I'm standing right behind him. Your Mentor application is in the post, mate. But my absolute favourite component is a hacking mode, where you simply need to keep in the same increasingly shrinking area long enough to get a 100% hack. The sadistic joy of watching someone desperately dash around trying to find you is absolutely hilarious. But the panic of getting the hell out of there once your cover's been blown is even more tenseful. I mean, it's essentially an online game of hide and seek, but it gets so suspenseful your heart literally races when they're in a hair's breadth of you, only for the euphoric relief of when they turn away. Something so simple is just incredible fun. Of course, this also means other players can hack into you, like me here desperately trying to find a hacker on a freeway, only to discover he's hiding under the bridge. Run, fat boy! But in conclusion, if you come to Watch Dogs expecting Grand Theft Auto, you're gonna have a bad time. It's far more methodically paced, sort of akin to a 90s suspense thriller like Mercury Rising. It's really the same reason why people hated The Getaway. They expected GTA and got something else. But if you can step back and breathe in the sandbox world of Chicago, you can appreciate a more intelligent game. Also, beating Watch Dogs 100% on realistic setting is an acceptable achievement for your resume if you're trying to get a job with the NSA. Don't forget to click on that subscribe button below and be first to see future gaming videos and reviews such as this. And why not check out some of my other recent reviews below? But thanks for watching, peoples!